The Fire Inside is fighting its way through theaters during a crowded post holiday movie season, but is it worth seeking out? And what are its chances at award season, if any? Well, stick around and I will let you know my personal take. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Sean Morgan and I am a massive movie nerd. Welcome to this review for The Fire Inside, directorial debut of Rachel Morrison. Rachel Morrison is an established cinematographer in the industry, having worked on films like Dope, Seberg, and Black Panther. The script for this film was written by Barry Jenkins of Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk fame. Also, currently has Mufasa the Lion King in theaters. He directed that film. I do not believe that he wrote that film. This film, The Fire Inside, tells the story of real life Olympic boxer Clarissa Shields, a woman from Flint, Michigan, who went on to be the first woman in United States history to win the gold medal for boxing. The film stars Ryan Destiny as Clarissa Shields in a fantastic anchor performance. It also stars critical darling Brian Tyree Henry as Jason Crutchfield, Shields' coach and mentor. Henry is always great in things, and this film is no exception. The film's engine really is the interplay between these two people, Brian Tyree Henry and Ryan Destiny, and the mentor mentee chemistry really shines. Sports movies and movies, or rather, sports movies and sports in general, really aren't my area of expertise. If I'm being honest, I shamefully was not very aware of the real Clarissa Shields in any capacity. I don't really tune into Olympic Games when they happen, so my knowledge of those athletes is restricted to those who really end up at the forefront of popular culture. Your Michael Phelps, your Simone Biles, your Serena Williams, etc. I say this to demonstrate that I had no preconceived notions about what The Fire Inside would cover, where the narrative would go, or what challenges the main character might face throughout the course of the runtime. I was totally blank going into the theater apart from having seen the trailers ahead of other films. I also, though I don't gravitate towards sports movies in general, do quite enjoy boxing movies. I owned the entire Rocky series on Blu ray. I love the Creed trilogy. I like Anton Fuqua's Southpaw, a movie that I think is kind of underrated and underseen in certain respects. And then, of course, Raging Bull, which, in my opinion, kind of transcends being called a sports movie by virtue of just how dang good it is. That's neither here nor there. But basically, what I'm trying to say is I think boxing movies rip. So, what did I think of The Fire Inside? Well, let's get past this preamble here. The Fire Inside is solid. Like I alluded to earlier, the performances are fantastic and really benefit the piece. I know that Brian Tyree Henry has broken through to an Academy Award nomination in recent history for the film Causeway with Jennifer Lawrence. He is liked by Academy voters, and for good reason. Causeway is a movie that I like, though I am surprised that his sort of understated performance in that film won him a nomination. That's not typically the gear that propels actors into Academy Award nominations under normal circumstances. Usually, bigger performances are more awarded and more recognized. A movie like The Fire Inside feels more like the type of movie that would get someone like Brian Tyree Henry an unquestionable Oscar nomination in most years. However, his lack of presence at the Golden Globes this year does not bode well for any sort of Oscar chances. The category is just insurmountable this year when it comes to supporting actor. Between veterans like Guy Pearce and Edward Norton for The Brutalist and A Complete Unknown, respectively, Kieran Culkin's kind of crushing domination at award shows across the board, TV and film, and then, the icon that is Denzel Washington in Gladiator 2, regardless of what you think of that film, I think he is kind of unquestionably one of the things that people uncritically just love about that movie. And, between all of these different men, I think the fifth slot for supporting actor at the Oscars, the battle for that position is bloody and intense, and I don't really see Henry making it for this film. To be clear, he is still great here, as is Ryan Destiny as Clarissa Shields. Destiny likely has even less of a chance than Henry simply because of her relative newness to leading a film. The Academy does like biopics, but the narrative this year seems to be about all established actresses. Your Nicole Kidman, your Tilda Swinton, your Angelina Jolie. They all had Globes nominations this past Sunday. The comeback narrative also has been pretty popular for both men and women in recent years. So my money for the Oscars race uh, is probably on someone like a Demi Moore for The Substance, or Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl. Um, I'm recording this the day after the Golden Globes, where Demi Moore did just win lead actress for The Substance, which is kind of an interesting development. That's neither here nor there in regards to this film. Awards are not everything, though, right? So, The Fire Inside is a solid movie that is very inspirational and much more thoughtful than I was anticipating. The film depicts Shields' gold medal win, yes, but then there's a whole second half of the film that occurs after the point where Shields has claimed that victory. Um, and I really liked that portion of the movie. Shields' life after that point is where I found the movie to really shine and kind of rise above being just another sports movie or biopic. I was not expecting the movie to be so candid about the difficulties, for example, of Shields' socioeconomic status not really improving for a while after winning, what is essentially the highest honor in sports. Clarissa Shields in this film finds it difficult to acquire sponsorships or endorsements, even after hitting her marks and earning her wins. And it is a sobering look at the ways in which this country and the world unfairly treats, Black people and Black women, even if they've played by the rules and done everything quote unquote correctly, right? How is a gold medalist not being afforded, any opportunities after such a monumental success? There's a lesser version of this film that ends with Shields' first gold medal win and then sends the audience home without asking much from them intellectually. And I really appreciated that this film decides to ask some uncomfortable questions and confronts some harsh American realities while still endorsing ideas about resilience and endurance. Barry Jenkins, as a screenwriter, has certainly not lost his touch, and I will be looking forward to whatever he writes or directs next, now that Disney no longer has him in a chokehold. Um, so, where does The Fire Inside rank on my personal scale? Is it A list, amazing, average, abysmal, or did it need to be aborted? Um, I would say that it lands somewhere between average and amazing, so probably like a 3.5 out of 5 stars if you want a literal star rating. Don't love doing star ratings, but it's between those two rankings, and I feel the need to say that. It's a solid movie, and it has more on its mind than I was anticipating, and it's anchored by a pair of great performances from two actors that maintain really nice chemistry throughout. Um, to be perfectly honest, I originally intended to wait to see this until, later on in its theatrical run or until it was on streaming. I was planning to go see A Complete Unknown, but, I was running a little bit behind and decided to plug this movie into my schedule instead. There was a showtime that just fit better with where I was at in the day. And I'm happy I did that. This is an MGM release, and as they are now owned by Amazon, it'll eventually end up on Prime Video. When it does, I encourage people to check it out or, go see it in a theater if it's still playing near you. Everything is better in a theater, in my opinion. I saw this as part of an experiment where I am trying to see as many movies with A list in 1 year as possible. This was a matinee screening, so I saved $9.69. Nice. I'm happy with that. It was a good movie. Um, so yeah, those are my thoughts on The Fire Inside. Do I think it's going to be like an instant classic as far as the sports genre goes or the boxing genre goes? That remains to be seen. I haven't really heard that many people talk about it just because so many other movies have kind of come out uh, in the same kind of time frame and made bigger splashes. Your Sonic 3s, your Nosferatu's, A Complete Unknown. This, good little movie has kind of been lost in the mix, which is unfortunate. But, thank you so much for watching. What did you think of The Fire Inside? If you have seen it, did you see it? Are you a big sports movie fan or specifically boxing movies like me? And if so, what is your favorite boxing movie? Is it Raging Bull, Rocky, Creed? There are tons to choose from. Let me know in the comments. And of course, feel free to like this video and or subscribe to the channel to keep up with my various thoughts on all the various offerings in theaters. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you at the movies. As far as boxing movies for me, I feel like I have to discount Raging Bull just because I do think that's just a I don't consider it a boxing movie for some reason. I like it just feels like in a higher echelon. And I love the Rocky movies. I'd probably just have to go with the original Rocky, as boring of a pick as that is. I'm of the mindset that that first Rocky movie is pretty great, then probably Rocky 4, then probably Creed. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a Rocky ranking at some point. Anyways, that's enough for me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope you've been having a fantastic start to your new year. Stay safe, as I said earlier. Bye.